To persuade listeners, a speaker must provide solid evidence from reliable sources. Does this speaker succeed in giving strong evidence?
A few weeks ago, I asked you in a questionnaire, what is the most dangerous sporting activity in the United States? The top answers that you gave me were boxing, mountain climbing, and skydiving. But the correct answer is none of the above. The most dangerous sporting activity is riding a bicycle. Each year, over 900 Americans die from bike-related injuries. According to the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, over half of the victims are children under the age of 15. I want to discuss the extent of the problem and then show you a simple solution, which would be to require all bicyclists to wear helmets. Now, some of you might say, well, I don't ride a bicycle, and I'm not a parent, so this issue doesn't really apply to me. But yes, it does. Whether or not you ever become a parent, you will always have children in your life, nieces, nephews, and kids in your neighborhood. I think all of us want to protect the children in our communities. Let's take a closer look at the problem. The number of deaths and injuries is very high. I've already mentioned the figure of 900 deaths per year. In addition, the Bicycle Helmet Safety Institute says that each year close to 550,000 bicyclists visit emergency rooms with serious injuries. Some of these injuries involve massive brain damage. There are two misconceptions about bicycling that we need to clear up. The first misconception is that a careful, skilled bicyclist doesn't need a helmet. However, even the best cyclists, including professional racers, are vulnerable. Not long ago, you may have seen this in the news. Pro cyclist dies after falling from bike. Andrei Kivilev of Kazakhstan would be alive if he had worn his helmet. Early in the race, Kivilev had been wearing his helmet, but he removed it to cool off a bit. He paid with his life. Another top bicycle racer, Fabio Casartelli of Italy, died during the 1995 Tour de France. He was wearing a cloth cap when he fell, and his head hit the pavement. The second misconception is that a casual ride in one's neighborhood does not require a helmet. But consider this. A few years ago in Naples, Florida, a businessman named Bo Thomas was riding his bicycle near the entrance road for a condominium development. He was cycling at a slow speed when he collided with a car that was leaving the condominium entrance. The car was going only 5 miles per hour. Thomas was thrown from his bike and his head struck the pavement. He died from massive brain trauma. He had not been wearing a helmet. The state trooper who investigated, Bob Brown, described the accident as a very low-speed impact. Trooper Brown said that if Thomas had been wearing a helmet, quote, he probably would have stood up and brushed himself off. As you can see, even a minor accident can be deadly. Bicycle riders, especially children, can travel at slow speeds in their neighborhoods and still be vulnerable. Now that we have seen how serious the problem is, let's look at the solution, which is very simple. Every bicycle rider should be required by law to wear a helmet at all times. The government agency that monitors the health and safety of Americans is the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The CDC says that if every person who rides a bicycle would wear a helmet, we could prevent 500 deaths and 150,000 head injuries per year. I'm not saying that helmets will prevent all deaths and injuries, but they will prevent most of them, especially when you consider that the Bicycle Helmet Safety Institute says that 2/3 of cycling deaths result from brain injuries. Now, some parents say, my child rides a bike only on a driveway. She doesn't need a helmet, does she? Well, I put this question to Dr. David Bate, director of the emergency room at St. Joseph's Hospital. And he said that a child can fall from her bicycle and be injured just by impact with a driveway surface or a rock or a toy or another object. He also pointed out that requiring her to wear a helmet at all times would help instill a lifetime habit, one that will be important as she grows up. A good helmet costs less than $25. Just make sure that the helmet fits properly. I recommend buying from a bicycle shop because the staff can help you get the proper size and fit. You may pay a few more dollars, but it's worth it. Some states and communities have laws requiring bicycle riders to wear helmets. We need to persuade our legislators to expand the requirement to all states and all communities. And we also need to campaign for enforcement. The Bicycle Helmet Safety Institute says that even in areas that require helmets, fewer than 20% of children under the age of 15 wear them when cycling. So once laws are on the books, we need to insist that they be vigorously enforced. Also, all of us need to become advocates for bicycle helmets. I have a booklet that you can take with you at the end of this speech and use to educate your relatives, friends, and neighbors. If you see children riding a bike without a helmet in your neighborhood, you can talk to their parents. I'm not urging you to become a pest who meddles in the lives of others. All I'm asking is that you help save a child's life. Let's review. We have seen that bicycle riding is the most dangerous sporting activity in the United States, with over 900 deaths and over 550,000 serious injuries each year. The solution is simple. We must require helmets for all bicycle riders, and then we must enforce the laws. In addition, all of us should become advocates in our communities, educating riders and parents. Please do this for all riders, but especially for the children. Jane Brody, a health columnist for the New York Times, wrote about this problem. I would like to close by showing you the headline above her article. Save a child's brain. Require a helmet. Thank you.